Good morning and welcome to NADA Live. We've got dealership operations folks here, Cameron Wilson and Georgia Munson, here to talk to you about a brand new program that is being released this year at convention.
Good morning, thank you. So we're really excited to tell you about the Professional Series. The NADA Professional Series is designed for the high potential or brand new department manager in the dealership. And it will focus on 4 key areas in the training. The 4 departments that we're focusing on is office manager, parts manager, service manager, and sales manager. And each of those courses will have 4 core areas of training in them. And the idea is we really wanted to maximize the training while minimizing the amount of time that the participant has to be out of the store. So in total, the participant only has to be out of the store for 4 days, but at the same time, they're getting a 2-day core competency training, a 2-day live leadership class, and then in the dealership, they have blended learning, so they'll have online courses specific for the DMS and also for HR. So we're really excited, and the great thing is Georgia, who is the instructor for all of these classes, is here to tell you a little bit more about the pilot class that we ran.
So before I jump into the pilot class we recently held about a month ago, you may be asking yourself, well, why is this program even important? Why are we doing this today? So many of you I know read the automotive news and have heard about this new generation coming up into the business world, the millennials. Well, the millennials, as many of you may already know, have surpassed the number of baby boomers in the workforce today. And they require, they're a little more educated group than we've had in the past for people entering the business world. They're a little more tech savvy. And they also demand understanding what their future holds for them when they start employment. They want to know what their training path is going to be. So not only does this professional series touch all these different departments, but it also is going to help our dealerships to have a training plan for these new up-and-comers, these high potentials that will one day be the new car managers or general managers in the automotive industry. So now let me backtrack to our pilot group. We had the really good fortune of going to the outskirts of Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania about a month ago. And we had a volunteer dealer say, come on onto my team and we'll put a staff together and we'd like you to roll out this office manager training and let's see how it goes. So it starts like this. We had a controller, we had a billing clerk, a warranty clerk, a payables clerk, and a new car manager all walk into a room. Sounds like a beginning of a bad joke. But in hindsight, it was actually a really, really wonderful time. What we were able to do in 2 days was make a real difference in the accounting personnel, the individuals, understanding of how their specific role impacts everyone else in the dealership and how their specific role can impede the ability to a really quick close at the end of the month or can really speed it up. So the receivables clerk was able to understand, oh, I understand why I have to look at my contracts in transit now on my warranty and my rebates, and I should really stay on top of that all month so when it comes to day 1 of the month close, they're ready to go. And how each of those individuals, the payables clerk, the billing clerk, the warranty clerk, they all form the big puzzle on getting the month closed. Mm-hmm. We also had the good fortune of having a new car manager, as I mentioned, in that training class. And what was really fun about that is this. So you do get a lot of accounting personnel, controllers in a room, and they like to talk the numbers. And between you and I do believe that, there's probably a little animosity between the office and the sales department. Anybody have that? Yes. So this gave us an opportunity for them to really get to understand what causes the friction between the two so they can maybe work better together to prevent it in the future. So since we did have a new car manager coming to the office manager training, we incorporated a little bit of our sales training in the professional series that day. What we did was, you want to hear this? What we did was we had them all role play as if they had sold a car at the dealership, and They each played a different individual. The wholesaler who was buying a unit, the bank that was financing the new vehicle, the payables clerk who was trying to pay off the trade. Long story short, the new car manager thought he was started off so proud. He had a $4,000 front-end gross deal. But what he didn't realize, because of the lack of attention to detail throughout the sales process, they tied up $100,000 for a month and a half in the accounting office because he didn't button it up. Now, it was a fictitious simulation, but it showed the new car manager, and it opened some dialogue for the new car manager with the accounting office. So we're not pestering you and harassing you because we don't like you. You just don't realize that how it impacts us, and we don't understand sometimes why it's hard for you to get some of these stipulations to speed up the process.
And as a team, weren't they able to walk away with kind of a plan in place and a process to look at their operations to say, okay, here's a speed bump that we hit on a monthly basis. Here's something we can do to alleviate that and make the process go a lot faster.
It was perfect for that. And I think they opened the dialogue that they could say, well, why does it sometimes take so long to get a title on a trade? I had to unload that car because, you know what, we're not going to sell this type of product here. So I promised the wholesaler I'll get him the title in 3 days, and you aren't delivering that to me. And the accounting office can say, well, how long do you think it takes the bank that we have to make the payoff to get that title to us? Do you think we can actually get them to check? Oh, and by the way, that payoff wasn't the right amount. So that even backtracked us a little bit further. So they gained a deeper understanding of why things don't always go as quickly as they expect them to.
Exactly,
Yeah.
exactly. And you know, the key to this program is when you're brand new to a role, you all have heard the adage, fake it till you make it, right? And we really want to give people the opportunity to have a plan, have an onboarding plan, so they don't have to fake it. We want to give them the tools they need to really walk into a role and run a profitable department.
Yeah, it really helped to identify, in particular for some of the newer employees. We had a 6-month tenured accounting person in the room, and they had handled and mastered the process for inputting for that specific department or that specific
Just that role, that tiny
role.
piece.
But seeing the bigger picture, they understood how all those other areas tied together, and they could also see their career path. Like, oh, I understand now. Hey, maybe next year I want to get promoted so that I can handle, you know, the accounts receivable or contracts in transit. So it kind of gave them a roadmap to their future, and it helped them understand that they're very important, and they're a piece of the bigger puzzle in making the dealership profitable.
Exactly, exactly. So as you can tell, we're both very excited about this program. Launched here at the convention. So if you want to find out more information about it, we're at the NADA booth right on the floor.
Thanks very much, Cameron and Georgia. Learn more on nada.org. Lots more to come. Take this address and put it in your back pocket, nada.org/live. More coming up shortly. Thank you.
Great, thank you.